Most MMORPGs are designed to steal your attention and keep you coming back. They use time gating, massive grinds, and psychological tricks to make you addicted. But for the last 13 years, Minecraft's largest MMORPG, Wynncraft, has done things better, beyond just the development team. This is how Wynncraft broke the mold. This video is sponsored by Wynncraft, but all thoughts and opinions shared are my own. These are notes that I took on all of Wynncraft's major updates. And while this isn't a video about the game's history, I gotta talk about what I found the most fascinating from these. And that's the constant improvement. Not with regards to new content, but rather old content. Here, let me show you what I mean. While many of Wynncraft's biggest updates are known for adding tons of new content, the updates released on these dates are different. Now, many of these did add tons of new content, but these are some of the times that Wynncraft completely reworked existing systems. This one was the first full rework of mobs. This one is actually why I'm making this video. It's an update coming out today, where after 7 years in the making, Wynncraft is finally releasing their largest expansion ever. You can check it out using the IP on screen. And alongside all the new content coming out is a ground-up rework of the item system, which they've already done before, back in December of 2015. And while these reworks may seem kinda silly, they're actually the key to how Wynncraft has only gotten better over the years, and how it's amassed over 4.8 million total players, because they help to avoid something known as technical debt. See, Hypixel's MMORPG, Skyblock, recently switched to modern versions only. Except, not really. They just slapped a 1.21 coat of paint over the 1.7 skeleton. Which is why when you try to swim in 1 block high areas, a feature only available in modern versions, this happens. But Wynncraft is different. While their backend is still on 1.8, the server still registers modern mechanics, which is why when you try to swim in a 1 block high area, you can. And obviously this isn't because Wynncraft has more money to spend. I mean, unlike most MMORPGs, this game really doesn't try to steal your money. But when a game is free to play, like Wynncraft is, they need to get operating costs covered somehow without sacrificing the unpaid experience. And they do this through the Wynncraft store. Nothing in the store screams pay to win. Except for one thing, Silver Bull shares. These are kind of funny because they make Wynncraft feel a bit pay to win, but are also exactly what make it not pay to win. See, you can buy them for real money, or from other players using the in-game currency. And those shares can then be used to buy absolutely anything from the store through an in-game menu. So every rank, every bomb, even the Silver Bull subscription can all be bought without spending a dime. Except there is one drawback to this, where, unlike with real money, Silver Bull shares don't get 5% off for using code YikesMC. But you could. But without prioritizing profits, how does Wynncraft afford this constant improvement? Well, because of how passionate the team is. Alright, I know that sounds all Silicon Valley tech bro, but the team actually is largely volunteer-led. And not just the moderation team. Most of the content team are volunteers too, learning Wynncraft's own programming language solely out of passion and love for the game. And because of that, the staff is intentionally transparent. If you ever run into a staff member on the server, you know what their role is pretty much immediately. And the leadership also embraces this transparency. I mean, just last year, there was an update to the game's store that was somewhat controversial. But instead of just pushing a change and making players deal with it, they ended up working with the community's feedback, changing the update twice and giving insight into why the change was necessary. Which, when compared to a certain other Minecraft server, is extremely refreshing. My experience with the gameplay has been jarring, because instead of wasting your time, Wynncraft actually tries to make every moment feel intentional. The content book makes progression super easy to prioritize, so you don't need to waste time searching for what to do next. And with the Windtills mod, the menu is even more clear-cut. There's also a mod that adds community-sourced voice acting to NPCs.
Wait, where the hell even are they?
But even without that, quests and NPCs don't have that same lifeless feeling that other Minecraft servers do. On top of that, most of the quests aren't your standard, go do this thing 20 times. They're intentional about either furthering the story, furthering your understanding, or just elevating your experience. Oh, and the animations are actually insane. Somehow, on several occasions, this game actually made me forget I was even playing Minecraft. I mean, this isn't a Minecraft MMORPG, this is an MMORPG. One that happens to be in Minecraft. But even so, the game manages to avoid some of the biggest sins often present in MMOs, with a key example of this being the lack of time-gated content. Oftentimes with MMOs,
the player isn't rewarded for playing as much as they are punished for not playing.
But Wynncraft doesn't really do this. There are daily rewards, but they're not designed to punish you for missing a day. They're just small bonuses for if you do log in. And those bonuses are super easy to make up for if you miss out on them. The game also combats the baseline loneliness you experience in multiplayer Minecraft in a super creative way. See, when a map is this massive, it's really easy to feel alone, especially considering each Wynncraft server only holds up to 50 people. So what do? Well, these are player ghosts, aka Wynncraft's solution. Essentially, it shows you players in other lobbies without the extreme lag that actually being on the same server would cause. But it's super easy to turn them off or reduce how many ghosts there are, because in some cities, having ghosts on will absolutely kill your FPS. Except there are also some slightly more practical uses for ghosts, such as the Hunted game mode. Now, I haven't played it, but I have heard quite a bit. Essentially, it's a game mode that enables PvP outside of cities. And if you get killed, some of your items will actually get dropped. I asked friend of the show and resident Wynncrafter Looney their thoughts on the game mode, and here, I got it right here, let's see. Stupid.
If I came across someone right now that I could attack, they would get one tapped. I'm like level 4. It's a one tap contest.
However, this game mode can actually be turned on or off, unless you selected Hunted when creating your character. But why, I hear you ask, would players risk losing their items? Well, primarily because you get 50% more XP from gathering, which can save you a ton of time. And what's gathering? Welcome to the not-so-wonderful world of professions. Professions are, thankfully, optional. Look, have you ever been playing a super cool game with tons of diverse content and thought, man, I wish I was bored out of my mind right now? Okay, I don't want to be too cruel. I mean, everyone dogs on professions. It's low-hanging fruit, but also, come on. I mean, every single gathering profession is the exact same experience. Click, hold, and wait for the bar to fill. And if a mob attacks you while you're doing that, well, you gotta kill it, and then click, hold, and wait for the bar to fill. It just feels out of place considering how engaging the rest of the game is.
What looks more appealing? This or this?
Hunted and professions are the primary places where this game struggles. But these are still strictly optional features, so don't let them scare you off from joining. Especially now, with the Fruma expansion being officially released. Now, to show you just how anticipated this update actually is, we gotta look here, at December 2015. This was when the Gavel expansion dropped, which completely reworked items, added a custom texture pack to make the world more immersive, and changed the opening quest to mention where you came from, being the Fruma province, or according to the fandom wiki, the Druma province. Fast forward to December 2016, and a strange gate is added to the southern border. Meh, doesn't seem that important. Oh, except it is. See, that's the gate to the Fruma province, and it's been closed for almost 10 years, meaning players of this game have waited almost 10 years to access this area. But now, it's actually here, featuring over 1,000 new items, an increased level cap, and 5 entire new regions. But I'm not going to tell you anything else about the update. From my own experience playing, and from what I've heard from others, the best way to play Wynncraft is to go into it completely blind, and experience the world the way you want to experience it. And while that may be scary, if you ever get to a point where you're not sure what to do, the community is extremely kind. Which brings me to the third and final way that Wynncraft has broken the mold. Now, I was told pretty early on that the Wynncraft community was nice, but I had my doubts, primarily because of my experiences with every other Minecraft server. But the community wasn't just nice, it was welcoming. See, I was given the media rank on Wynncraft, and assume a lot of people would be kind to me solely based on that. But no. First off, rank culture really isn't anything like that in Wynncraft, which I'll touch on in just a sec. But the primary way I saw how the community acts was by observing. I saw how people responded to each other in-game, in the Discord, even in the subreddit. You have a question? People are either going to answer it or help you find the answer, which means you spend less time feeling stuck and more time actually playing. Look, obviously there are bad apples, but a vast majority of interactions leave newer players feeling more excited to play, which is so different from what I've seen on other servers. One thing that probably doesn't matter to most people but meant a lot to me was how inclusive the inside jokes are. If you don't understand a joke, people for the most part aren't going to try to gatekeep. They want you to laugh too, which I found nice, especially considering just how large shout culture is. See, you can shout by using shout bombs, which again can be bought from the Wynncraft store. But when you use a shout bomb, your message is broadcasted to everybody on the server. This means you can be a goober in a very loud way. Now, some people shout weird things. Some people shout harmful things, like the March 3rd incident. Alright, now as I mentioned briefly, this game doesn't have the annoying rank culture that I'm used to, which can be seen through Champion Rank, which has a perk that lets you see which lobbies have active buff bombs. So if you have a pal or guildmate with the rank, you have that perk too, simply by asking which lobbies have what. I love that Wynncraft ranks only really add quality of life features because tons of high-level players don't even get one, and they don't get shamed for making that choice. But if you want to support the server and help keep it running, it does make your experience a bit more pleasant, which, in my eyes, is the best way to go about it, where progress is based on time and effort, not money spent. Now, if you think I was too kind in this video, give Wynncraft a try. I did a ton of research on how the game came to be, but what really sold me on it was actually logging in and experiencing all it had to offer firsthand. Thank you so much to Wynncraft for sponsoring this video and letting me give my honest thoughts. I was hoping those thoughts would be a bit more negative so I wouldn't come off as a total shill, but the game really is awesome, and I do plan on playing it for years to come. Linked below are a few creators who make really great Wynncraft videos, along with Olinus's Tips You Must Know video, which outlines some important mechanics but doesn't actually spoil the gameplay. And if you want to learn about why so many other MMORPGs seem to try to trick you into addiction, check this video out right here. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys next time. Deuces.